When Abaddon the angel fell, he made his home in the depths of hell. Alone and full of dark despair, he defied the God who sent him there.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I'm Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. Where the Devil Roams is a 2023 film that was more wide release in 2024, so this one's quite new. And this is directed by the Addams Family, which is really funny, obviously. But not that Addams Family, of course. This is a family that lives in upstate New York, I'm pretty sure. We got Zelda Adams and John Adams, and then we got Toby Poser, who's the wife. And it's a dad, mom, daughter trio, I guess. I don't know if there's other people in the production. There probably is, but they're the main, production people that put these things together. And they just make indie projects, and really, really good ones. I mean, mind-blowingly good ones for the budgets that they use and how independent they make their cinema. And this is one of their newer ones. So I have seen The Deeper You Dig by them, which so far I believe is my favorite. And then I've seen a bit of Hellhole, that also, I think it's Hellhole, that just came out also recently. And then this one premiered at Fantastic Fest, was it 2022 or 2023? I think it was 2023 that it premiered. So like a year ago. And then it was wider release in 2024. So they released this on Yellow Veil Pictures, which is another sister label of Vinegar Syndrome, one of the best companies for physical media out there. I will always champion that damn company. And Yellow Veil Pictures put this out, and beautiful slipcover. You got the original artwork there. And I watched this for the first time. Always first time watches for 31 Days of Horror. And this is definitely an Addams Family type film. And you see the direction by them, and it definitely pays that style for sure. And they know, they put their fingerprint on it tenfold. So we start off with this guy who seems to have like maldeveloped legs. He seems like he's speaking in front of an audience, and it seems very 1940s. So you get like a freak aspect, like a freak show kind of vibe. And he's reading this poem, and this poem is very creepy and very beautiful. There's part of it at the back here. While the body rots to dust and bone, there is a tear in the heart where the devil roams. And that's a snippet of this poem that he's just reading to the audience. It's all black and white. You got a lot of grain, very stylized. This film is literally the definition of style over substance. Now, I'm a guy who is a sucker for style, so I will love a film that barely has plot if it's just dripping in style. And this is the kind of film that you want to use as an example for something that is just loaded with style, but very fucking confusing when it comes to the plot and the story and the substance. I did not understand this film when I was done with it. Not even close. This needs a rewatch for me. Did I love this film? Yes. This is the best film I've watched so far this 31 Days of Horror, because it is just style galore. It is shot beautifully. You can tell it's shot in like 4K, or at least really, really high definition cameras. The shot selection is glorious. The cinematography is mind-blowing in this film. This is a period piece. It's not exactly stated what era this takes place, but I'm guessing like post-World War One. So probably 1919, 1920, something like that. It was after a war, though. I would say 1800s even, because it does feel that too. But because there is a, I guess, subplot going on where one of the characters was at war, especially with the Germans. I could say after World War II as well, but it seemed older than that, so I'm just going to take a guess and say that it was probably post World War One. So let's just say 1920 for argument's sake. But these characters, this family, they work at a carnival, and I love the way they set this carnival up, but I love also how they design the characters. You have all these characters that are just head to toe in tattoos, piercings, and in that era, that was like freaky, you know what I mean? That wasn't as much as you see it in today's time, like then, like people who had that many tattoos and piercings were legit freaks at freak shows kind of thing. So the characters at this carnival, at this traveling sideshow, whatever they do, are awesome. Every character, every side character is just memorable. I love how they designed these characters. It was just insane. But you mainly focus on the family. So they have an act at this show, and the act is kind of mundane. It's a cool act, but it's not getting a lot of traction. It's not getting a lot of money. But then they start traveling, like on a road trip, I guess, and they start to, like I said, want to stay at motels and stuff like that. They start to murder a lot, and the murder scenes come out of nowhere. Like there's this dinner scene where they start to have dinner with this guy, and then all of a sudden the mom will start bashing his head in with a frying pan, and I wasn't sure who that guy was or where he came from. There's another scene where they want to fix their car, so they knock on somebody's door to just like borrow a hose kind of thing, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'm entertaining right now. I can't really help you guys. Just go down to the neighbor next, a few miles down, and maybe he'll be able to help you." So they murder him, and it's really artsy. Like it's a really artsy film with a lot of good practical effects. There's a ton of gore in this film, but I wasn't understanding what was going on when it starts to happen with the murder stuff. There's a lot of flashbacks to the war. There's this one scene that I absolutely loved involving the flashback to the war where this guy's laying on a tree, and his arm is just completely numb and like purple essentially, and it has to be taken off. So the guy starts to slice his arm off, and the guy can't feel a thing. So he's literally hacking the guy's arm off, and then he pulls the arm and he holds it up, and it's this purple fucking arm, and the guy can't feel shit, right? But he sees his arm and he starts screaming, and then he gets a bullet to the head, and I'm telling you, it was one of the best practical effects I've ever seen with a bullet through a head. The head just like pops like a balloon, and it's so realistic that for a low budget film like this, the fact that they were able to make a practical effect look that realistic with a shot to the head from a rifle was just insane. I have to rewind it and watch it again. It was just like, it was so realistic looking, it was crazy. But eventually weird shit starts to happen. There's scenes where like eventually the father character, he starts to get like slower, like he starts to lose his ability to speak for some reason. The mom starts to lose limbs, like but like her limbs start to get kind of like purplish and kind of fall off essentially, in the same way, but I never understood why or where. Like things just happened, and unless I missed something, I never got much explanation as to why things were happening. Things were just happening. And then by the end of the film, their act begins to go really out of this world. And like their act will be like the husband will pull the mom's arm off, and then the mom will be like, ah, like without an arm, like, ah. And it's just like, what led to that? Like, how is this happening? Why is this happening? It doesn't seem to have a lot of answers, but it looks visually stunning and beautiful. And I can appreciate this film for that alone, because this is like just one of those art house films that is just visually stunning. And although it has a plot, and although you can probably interpret the plot, especially in many ways, that's what the point is. You're supposed to interpret the plot however you want to interpret the plot. But this film is definitely focused on its style, and I love that. Zelda Adams is such a beautiful, beautiful girl. There's a lot of scenes where she's in this angel costume, and she sings a lot in this film. Soundtrack is glorious, by the way. There's a lot of like alternative rock, kind of grungy songs going on, and industrial stuff, which I appreciated a lot. But yeah, the way they'll frame scenes when it comes to the act with the mom and the dad, and then the daughter in the middle with the angel white angel costume, just really really well done, and such a unique independent film. And I love that this family just loves cinema so much that that's what they do. They just make cinema and release it to festivals, and that's their career. Like, and they do it together. It's inspiring. It's something that I would want to do, you know what I mean? So I really had fun with this film, but don't ask me for a plot because I have no fucking idea. I just know that there's a lot of gory scenes, there's a lot of murder. This family works at a traveling sideshow, and then they go on a road trip and they start murdering a bunch of people, and then they somehow end up in this like supernatural ability to do this weird act, and it's just weird, maybe for weird sake, but it's entertaining nonetheless. And some people are going to hate this film, but this is the kind of cinema that I like to see more of, and I like unique shit like this. Like, there's only so many Marvel movies that you can see, right? You need a breath of fresh air every once in a while. You need something to test you and challenge you, in a sense, like Where the Devil Roams. So I had fun with this. The cover's beautiful, and we need more physical media releases this great. There's an hour behind the scenes in here, so it's a lot of fun. I loved this film. So far, it's the best film I've seen this 31 Days of Horror. And yeah, so tomorrow's another review. There's lots of 31 Days of Horror coming up, so keep it spooky, guys, and subscribe if you want to see some more. And until next review, cheers.